All right, let's get started. Welcome to the Panama City CRA meeting for August the 4th. Thank you so much for coming. We're going to start with an opening prayer led by Reverend Braden Friday, pastor with Living Waters Ministry, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by our new Chief Building Inspector, Trent Massey. Surprise.
Thank you. Let us pray. Father God, we thank you for another opportunity to come before you, even as we come before each other in this community, Father, to accomplish the things that need to be accomplished in this community. Father, I invite you to invade the territory of our minds, God, to give us the direction that we need to come together and to accomplish everything that needs to be accomplished as one community. Father, give us the divine insight. Give us also correction when we need it. God, that you might be glorified even in the midst of this, that your will might be accomplished. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Come on down. Yeah, you got to come to the mic. Come on down. Don't be nervous. I'm the first.
Nice to meet you guys.
Name and address, please.
Not today. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. That's my time.
I told him not to do that, but he didn't want to listen. So.
Please call the roll.
Board Member Hughes.
Here.
Board Member Lucas.
Present.
Board Member Street.
Here.
Board Member Granger.
Present.
Chairman Branch.
Present.
All present.
You have received the meeting minutes from June the 2nd. I will entertain a motion to accept.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Board Member Hughes.
Yes.
Board Member Lucas.
Yes.
Board Member Street.
Yes.
Board Member Granger.
Yes.
Chairman Branch.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Any additions, deletions, or modifications to today's agenda?
None from staff, Mr. Chairman.
Any from the board? Seeing none, moving on. We are moving into audience participation. If you'd like to speak about any item related to the CRA, please come forward. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Good evening, Michelle Bryant, 409 East 9th Street. Is it okay if I pass something out to you guys?
Absolutely.
I didn't get a chance to email it. My life is super busy.
No worries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
You have one you could give the attorney as well?
Yes.
Thank you, Michelle.
So again, good evening, Michelle Bryant, 409 East 9th Street. What you guys have before you is just a quick samplet of what we're asking for on the agenda for today. First, thank you guys from the City Commission perspective for allowing this to move forward to the CRA board here. So what this is an ask of the CRA board that we utilize the SPARK program in deciding the final cost for the appraised property that the American Legion is seeking to purchase on 1342 MLK Boulevard. Just a background story, the LOI was submitted back in July, placed on the agenda in August. Completion of appraisal by a city manager was received at $61,000. We went through the RFP process, 30-day notice, and of course there were no other submissions, and the American Legion would absolutely love to move forward with the 1342 MLK Boulevard project. What makes this special is not only because this property was previously owned by a local veteran business owner, is that we have deep roots with this property. Our commander is a family member of the previous owner of Lee's Motel. It's actually his nephew. We have the support of not only our local district American Legion, but also our state American Legion. One of the reasons why we feel that our organization absolutely fits the small business property activation redevelopment kickstart spark, is that this will be a local business that will absolutely help in revitalizing the community. One, it will create jobs, it will create cultural space, and contribute to the revitalization of the MLK corridor. Again, this is a veteran-owned organization. This is also an organization that is known throughout the nation of being able to partner with local schools, local churches, and local organizations to bring pride to the American as well as the local city society. What we're asking is that the Spark program be used and to the discount matrix with the Spark program, and also use the Bay County appraisal market value that is slightly different from what was appraised back through the city. So again, we welcome any questions, your thoughts, and we look forward to this great partnership. I also will add that I'm super excited. Our investors have given us the go. We're now ready to move forward and have already started developing relationships with neighboring community members. Thank you.
Thank you.
Michelle, why would you want to use the property appraiser versus the appraisal value?
Well, the appraised value through the property appraisal was about $20,000+ less. So the city manager came back with an appraised price of $68,000. The appraisal from the city property came back at $44,617.
And I'm in the building that they're recording this, they're wrong most of the time.
It's always
On that,
less. It's always less.
Yeah, it's always less,
Yeah.
right.
Assessed value, yeah.
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 And so with this project looking to be from $500,000 to almost up to $1 million, that's why we're asking for that reduction. Thank you. Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am, come on down. I would be, actually, believe it or not.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
My concern is, well, Brenda Lewis Williams, 2748 Oakhammock Drive. My concern is item number 8. I am one of those persons who's vehemently opposed to funding nonprofits in this city. Isn't the St. Andrews Waterfront a nonprofit, or is it a for-profit?
Oh, that's number 9.
That's number 9.
I thought I said 9. Well, number 9 is what I meant. And I'm vehemently opposed to that. For years, they have received monies. I don't see where there's any results. The only thing that's halfway decent out of that is the museum down there. And I like it because when they do the fountain pens, because I like fountain pens. But aside from that, I don't see anything that they have done that has bettered the community. If I'm wrong, I'll stand corrected, but not to the tune. They came the last time for $35,000. Where is this money going? What are they doing with this money? I recognize this is matching funds. If they did matching funds to the tune of $8,700, go find some matching funds from somewhere else and then get that. It's time our city stopped giving away monies to organizations that can run their own organizations and get money, get grants, etc. The last time they wanted some money, it was for the Governor's Stone, which that blew me away. But it's time we started taking a very prudent action and look at what these nonprofits are or are not doing. What benefit are the money that we are allowing them? What's the benefit to the city? I see none. And ASAP aside, ASAP is not, they don't get city monies to the extent, because they're getting CBD grants, et cetera. So they're not, and I'm gonna say it the way it's in my head, they're not robbing the city of any funds that could be utilized elsewhere. And those are my thoughts. I think that we need to vigorously take a look at it and not allow it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else want to speak to that? Seeing none, I am closing public comments. We are moving to item 7.
Item 7 is acceptance and discussion of Sankofa's letter of termination for the Glenwood Town Center Development Agreement. As background information, at the April 15th, 2025 CRA board meeting, the Sankofa Group presented a proposal to redevelop CRA-owned parcels at MLK Boulevard and 15th Street, known as the Glenwood Town Center, a mixed-use project including a community grocery store and residential units. Following the required public notice period, the CRA Board authorized staff to begin negotiations with the Sankofa Group for potential purchase or public-private partnership, resulting in the approved development agreement, which was signed July 29th of 2025. During the developer's due diligence period, additional engineering analysis identified significant stormwater constraints associated with the Florida Department of Transportation requirements. At the developer's request, the CRA Board approved a 5-month extension of the due diligence period to allow additional engineering review and evaluation of other potential solutions. On July 14th of 2026, the Sankofa Group submitted written notice terminating the development agreement, citing stormwater drainage issues that rendered the property unacceptable for the proposed development. The notice states that the termination is effective upon the CRA's receipt and releases both parties from any further obligations under the agreement. Staff recommendation is that the CRA Board accept the letter of termination of the development agreement and provide direction to staff regarding future efforts for the redevelopment of this property. Mr. Chairman?
Yes, I will entertain a motion to accept the letter.
Mr. Chairman, I reluctantly move to accept this letter of termination. It is a project that the community has asked for in terms of a grocery store for more than 20 years. And unfortunately, this venture wasn't successful. However, it was something that taught us some things, and we know what we need to do going forward. With that being said, I appreciate the Sankofa Group's efforts and move to accept the letter of termination.
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
Can somebody second that?
Granger. Please call the roll.
Board Member Hughes?
Yes.
Board Member Lucas?
Yes.
Board Member Street?
Yes.
Board Member Granger?
Yes.
Chairman Branch?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Mr. Chair, I would like to say that the stormwater issue is definitely one that we're going to have to work on, and I'm aware that our planning department is working on an ordinance to help in that regard. I have been contacted by 2 different groups that are interested in doing something in that area. So there is yet interest in those parcels for housing and retail.
I agree. Moving on to item 9.
Item number 8 is consideration and approval for the Panama City Tax Increment Rebate Program application submitted by KBP Properties Florida LLC for the property located at 4101 West 19th Street with parcel ID 28199-000-000 and the authorization to execute a performance agreement. Background information: on June 9th of this year, Kevin Nguyen, on behalf of KBP Properties Florida LLC, submitted an application under the program for the redevelopment of 5 single-family residential units located at 4101 West 19th Street, with the above referenced parcel ID, located within the CRA's St. Andrews District. Staff did review the application for completeness, and following the review, I completed my evaluation and provided my recommendation determining that the project does meet the criteria set forth in the Tax Increment Rebate Program guidelines for an award determined to be 70% of eligible project costs based on the project's revitalization of a deteriorated building for the creation of commercial office space not to exceed $149,472.17 and not to exceed a duration of 15 years. Staff recommendation is that the CRA Board approve the Panama City Tax Increment Rebate Program application submitted by Kevin Nguyen on behalf of KBP Properties Florida LLC for the 5 single-family residential units located at 4101 West 19th Street. Mr. Chairman?
I will entertain a motion to accept.
Motion to approve. Second.
Any discussion?
This project does not have affordable housing in it, does it? I don't see it checked here, just single-family residence.
Correct, Ms. Circle? Yeah, that's correct, ma'am.
Question.
No, I don't. I didn't look for that. Maybe I don't think the grant requires that, but I wasn't even honestly looking for that. So my apologies. Any other questions or discussion? Please call the roll.
Board Member Hughes?
Yes.
Board Member Lucas?
Yes.
Board Member Street?
Yes.
Board Member Granger?
Yes.
Chairman Branch?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Item number 9 is consideration and approval to provide matching donation funds to the Historic St. Andrews Waterfront Partnership in the amount of $8,150. Mr. Chairman?
Yes, I will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I do want to add.
Yeah,
so-
I'm sorry, I don't have any additional information other than the invoice. I don't know if there's any other relevant information.
So this was an initiative that we asked specifically Waterfront Partnership to take on, raise money, and we'll match you as a point of making it more of a sustainable nonprofit. You know, it should be something that we should look at for any nonprofit that we work at. If you're willing to show your effort to raise donor money, then happy to be a match component of that. They do offer, I mean, for those that don't know, which it sounded like that, they educate hundreds of elementary kids every year. They do school trips. They are the responsible party for all the volunteer hours that go into putting on the Christmas light display. It's in St. Andrews. They oversee the farmers market. They're actively involved in virtually every aspect that we do, and as far as from community planning and community programming. So anyway, just to add a few things that they do. They do a lot more than that, including the museum, but there's a lot of things that they're pretty active in.
Yeah, and I may add, Mr. Chairman, echoing Board Member Street, I kind of view this as kind of like a quasi-government. I mean, that's our building they're operating out of, just like the Bay Arts Alliance and the Center for the Arts in downtown Panama City, very similar to the Downtown Improvement Board. I mean, these are groups that we provide funding to, and they do things directly on behalf of the city, often utilizing our capital resources.
They program our facilities, and as a result, Waterfront is one of the unique ones that actually goes and raises their own funding. I think Center of the Arts does, but theirs is not contingent upon this matching
Yeah, I think
funds as well.
the difference is that the Center for the Arts and Historic St. Andrews Waterfront, while they both manage buildings that the city CRA own, the way their contracts are written are different.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a new venture. But to me, this is an example of what I preach about nonprofits, that if we have, as a city or CRA, a business need that the nonprofit, which is a business, can handle, then it's a business exchange. And that's what's different about this particular ask, is that it's just a match versus what we have with them with the management agreement for the building.
Go ahead, sir.
Real quick. So the Center for the Arts, like they had a fundraiser a couple weeks ago. Now, they have to do that because we don't do matching with them.
No, we give them, we write them a check. Yeah, we give them money.
But it's an exchange for services.
Yes,
I want us to be
just like the
careful when we
Waterfront
talk about
Partnership.
giving money to
They
nonprofits.
are managing at the museum. They manage all the inventory. They do the classes. They do all the things that come with that. Same thing with Center of the Arts. They're doing the same thing for us. They're essentially a contracted services provider stewarding those specific historical assets.
Oh, and that's almost a welcome center for St.
Yeah.
Andrews. I mean, it's
That's
fully
a,
staffed.
And I would say
think
the
that's a
same
great
thing
way
for
to describe
downtown.
it, yeah.
So,
And I think going forward, our agreements should be based on that, those services, rather than just a match. You raise money and we'll match it, but there's no delineation of what that's for.
It's fair.
If they're in our building, that I agree, they need to match. Why in St. Andrews is it different than downtown on management of the building?
Well, they have a unique situation from the Center for the Arts. But I think it's particularly with CRA funding, that if it's contracted services, then as a part of that contract, it could be a match. But we're doing this not just to help them get more money, but in response to, or in return for specific services that would be delineated in the contract.
I am very much in favor of standardizing those two contracts.
Yes.
I mean, I think, you know, they are essentially doing the same services, although they are different in what services they provide. They have a historical asset that they're maintaining and programming on behalf of the city.
And that has a value, which we should delineate
Yeah.
in a contract.
Did you get that, Council?
Yeah, and I'll just add, I know the board is aware of this, but for just the benefit of the public, I meet every month with the chairman of the DIB and the staffer, as well as I meet every month with the chairman of the San Andreas Waterfront Partnership and their staffer, and I kind of, ask that they be kind of their eyes and ears, or our eyes and ears kind of to help give feedback from the community. And I know that our staff attends the monthly meetings that they have as well. So
Do we have a motion on this?
We did.
I do, we have a motion and a second.
I would
Yep.
like to say, I think I hear consensus on standardizing these contracts. So if we need to have a subsequent motion, I would like for us to.
Let's do that as a
entertain
second
it.
one.
Yeah.
So, all right, we have a motion and a second on the table to accept this. Please call the roll.
Board Member Hughes?
Yes.
Board Member Lucas?
Yes.
Board Member Street?
Yes.
Board Member Granger?
Yes.
Chairman Branch?
Yes.
Motion passes.
I'd like to follow up a motion with the instruction to staff to standardize the contracts between those that are stewarding the facilities that we've asked them to, Panama City of the Arts and Waterfront Partnership.
So make the Waterfront Partnership like the Center for the Arts or vice versa?
The other way.
I don't know that we could make that distinction right now.
I think that's for you
Okay,
guys to bring. back.
standardized, okay, roger that.
Yeah.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Board Member Hughes?
Yes.
Board Member Lucas?
Yes.
Board Member Street?
Yes.
Board Member Granger?
Yes.
Chairman Branch?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Item number 10 is proposed fiscal year 2027 CRA board meeting and virtual workshop schedules. The purpose of this memorandum is to request the CRA board's consideration and approval of a revised meeting schedule for FY27. The proposed schedule would change the regular CRA board meetings and virtual workshops from monthly to every other month. The two would alternate, maintaining one CRA board or virtual workshop each month on the first Tuesday of the month at 4:30 p.m. Upon approval of the proposed schedule, staff will prepare the official 2027 CRA public meeting notice for the board's consideration in September, consistent with the meeting schedule requirements of Florida Statutes 189.015. Proposal would be the CRA board meeting at 4:30 p.m. on the first Tuesday of every even month, and the virtual CRA workshop at 4:30 p.m. on the first Tuesday of every odd month. Staff recommendations, the CRA board approve the proposed FY27 meeting schedule as presented in the chart in your packet. Meetings and workshops, again, would alternate monthly and be held on the first Tuesday of the applicable month at 4:30 p.m. local time. Mr. Chairman?
I will entertain a motion to accept.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Board Member Lucas?
Yes.
Board Member Hughes?
Yes.
Board Member Street?
Yes.
Board Member Granger?
Yes.
Chairman Branch?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Item number 11 is consideration and approval for disposition of CRA-owned property located at 1342 MLK Boulevard with parcel number 17367-000-000 in the downtown North District to the American Legion, post number 424. Relevant background information is enclosed in your packet. Staff recommends the approval of the sale of the CRA parcel located at 1342 MLK Boulevard with parcel number 17367-000-000 to the American Legion Post 424 for 10% of the comparable market price, contingent upon receipt of stamped and approved building plans and satisfaction of all applicable SPARK program eligibility requirements and any additional requirements that the board may put upon this particular transaction. Mr. Chairman?
I will entertain a motion.
I'll approve, pending final legal review of the SPARK program and whatever parameters that sets, utilizing that.
Do I have a second?
I'll second to ask the question.
Yes, sir.
They're asking to use not the appraisal, but the property appraiser. And I just asked the appraiser if there would be a change from last year to this year. And he thinks no, it's 61,000. That's the appraisal in here. So we need to consider that.
Well, the recommendation is 10% of the comparable market price, which would be the 6%.
I mean, that's my understanding, yes.
Yeah, just to make sure, so it's 10% of 61,000,
Yes.
so 6,100, which is in the amount that the letter stated previously. Well, it's under the threshold.
So it's the difference between 6,000 and 4,000? Is that the difference
Well,
between the
it's
two
not
appraised
now,
values?
well.
They've offered to pay $8,923.40 in what you just gave us.
Oh, what she just gave, I was looking at the letter that was in the,
Yeah.
okay.
But with
Anything
the
above the
SPARK program,
6,000
that
would be
will
fine.
change that amount. Is that correct? Does the SPARK program change that amount that's on here?
I guess
Or
we're
is it just an incentive for building? Okay, all right, okay.
So the intention, again, with the Spark is to lower the price, but also make sure that there's guide rails and that the person builds something, doesn't flip the property, and all this with guide rails as well. So I want to make sure that's incorporated. So as far as taxable value versus appraised value, my only worry is what potentially that sets us up in another time to forces us into a decision. Like if we set precedents here, and Joy can particularly answer that, is if we do, which direction we go here, does that set us up for later where we can't change that path?
I think it's a moot question if the motion is to approve what is recommended, which is 10% of the comparable market price, which
Okay.
is less than what they've asked for.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the CRA board follows the city's purchasing policy, which requires the appraisals and that process. However, that being said, the board can determine whatever discounted value or anything else. So you really have a lot of leeway as far as that goes with the CRA property.
I think I expressed the same thing. The purchase price is kind of a secondary piece to me versus something actually getting built. So, I mean, the goal is that, so.
Is your motion to take the department recommendation? If so, that's 10% of the comparable market price, which is totaling $6,000, which is actually less than what they've agreed to pay. So it's in their favor.
Okay. So I think we're on a good path.
Okay.
I just want to, I think we're all confirming.
Okay.
But
We're adding Spark to it, which will have
Right.
not only the incentives, but also the requirements to build.
Oh, you're saying adding the Spark?
That's what I was,
that's what she said they wanted to see.
yeah,
if
that's what they
could
said
do.
they wanted to
Yeah.
do.
But his motion says if legal approves.
Yes.
I mean, obviously there's some,
And you said
Some
that
question
your
right there.
investors are in place, ready to fund, investors are there to fund building?
Correct, that is correct.
I mean, we approved the Spark program pending legal review. That's the only reason why I said pending legal review.
Right.
Was that.
And obviously, the new, I mean, this was handed to me after,
Right.
we had the agenda item prepared, so.
And so if I could add, or have a question, including the Spark program, would that delay the process?
Could you
or
just restate your name for the?
I'm
public?
sorry, yes. Michelle Bryant, 409 East 9th Street. So my question is, if we just go with the recommendation of the 6,100, that's without the Spark program, and then with the Spark program, what I just submitted, we would then, I don't want to use the word, we would recant. We would rather go with the 61 and move without the Spark program. My only concern then is, what is the ramifications? Are they different from the Spark program when it comes to building? With the Spark program, it specifically gives us 3 years. It outlines the project through a very rigorous
That's why I'm
timeframe.
confused is, I
Yeah.
thought the 6,100 was a product of the Spark matrix getting us to that price.
Yeah, that's what I
Right,
thought
not
too.
like 6,100, then it goes to the Spark, like it's an optional thing. I thought it
Yeah.
was a mandatory.
Yeah, I'm
Because it's
confused too.
and 10% of the comparable market price and satisfaction of all applicable Spark
Yeah.
program eligibility.
So you answered my
Yeah.
question then. So
Yeah.
the Spark is already built into what you recommended?
Yeah, and I'm not,
Okay.
yeah, so I'm not tracking the 8,000, so.
Yeah, so you can just move that to the
Yeah.
side.
But that being said, though, I do think
Sell
that,
it?
yeah,
So I need to change my
And they have to
motion
build
to just
something.
adopt
Yeah.
the staff's recommendation.
correct.
Correct.
And I want
Which
to
is
be clear,
exactly
though.
what you're asking for.
Yeah.
Correct.
But
So that's-
something's got to be built
So I
within
will-
3 years.
Right.
I'll change my recommendation, I'll change my motion to match what the staff's recommendation is.
I'll second that. But if we went with what staff's recommending here, we can say, and there's no Spark in that, right?
No, it is. It
That was
is.
the confusion.
It's in there.
Yeah.
Do you think you will build before 3 years?
That is our goal.
I believe that's a requirement.
Yeah.
That
It's a
would be our
requirement, and then we have to come back if we don't and go through a whole nother.
I would say she
think it
needs to
said
be at either
completion.
substantial completion or totally complete within 3
Yeah,
years.
I think it's completion in the Spark
Yeah.
program.
So, and then no, obviously not selling it, no flipping it.
Correct.
So, yeah. So, awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. We have a motion and a second on the table to accept staff's recommendation. Any other discussion? Please call the roll.
Board Member Hughes?
Yes.
Board Member Lucas?
Yes.
Board Member Street?
Yes.
Board Member Granger?
yes,
Chairman Branch?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
and a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Please call the roll.
Wait, you did that.
Hang on, I haven't hit put my page yet. Not on that part. Okay. Board Member Hughes?
Yes.
Board Member Lucas?
Yes.
Board Member Street?
Yes.
Board Member Granger?
Yes.
Chairman Branch?
Yes.
Motion to adjourn approved, 5-0.